So let's talk about why. Because I wrote this in the title. I might as well cover it. And I came something else I wanted to cover, so maybe that's next time. Why is the judge doing this? What's its game and why? It's trying to fundamentally avoid pain at emotional level, pain and rejection. If you had physical abuse and bullying, it's trying to avoid that physical, sexual, any kind of hurt, abuse as well. All of that pain's kind of stored as memory in the body, and it's like, ooh, pushed down in the unconscious. We're going to try and forget what happened. The judge is saying, we don't go here, we don't let any of this happen, we don't let any of this be re-experienced. Because we are going to do this. We're going to get everything right. We're going to make everybody happy. We're going to be perfect. We're going to get everybody to like us. We're going to get all the right answers. Lays out how we're going to be perfect to please everyone externally. And hence draws up this big image of perfection of every collected problem pain we've ever experienced. And this, if we do this, we won't get rejected, we won't get bullied, we won't get criticized, we won't get made fun of by being perfect. That's the strategy. Because that kind of worked if we ate all our vegetables, we didn't get yelled at, didn't get shamed. Okay. If we hid, but hide perfectly, we didn't get bullied. If we dressed like one of the cool people in the right clothes, we didn't get made fun of by other kids in school. So it's a certain way to dress and look, and our hair and our makeup and our, okay. And if we grow big muscles, we become big and buff and tough, we won't get bullied, so it's like whatever the compensating strategies, whether it's to get big and tough and angry and fight first or hit first, or whether it's to hide and be invisible, there's certain things we had to do according to the judge. Don't speak up in the room, don't get seen, be quiet. Okay. Those are the rules we're supposed to follow, so that none of this pain from memory happens again. So the victim doesn't get hurt. So that's the strategy. The judge is remembering all the pain, calculating, this is our plan to avoid it, although it's based on what happened in first, second, third, fifth grade, 2 years old, 10 years old. It's on the playground, and now we're adults, but it's still using the same game plan. So it doesn't work. But the game plan is we're going to do all these things, got to make our hair perfect, whatever it is. And then, but what it's done is now psychologically set up rejection, because now it has a standard, says we have to meet this. Under the assumption that if we meet this, no external judgment, rejection, painful stuff will come externally. But the game is now being played in the mind that we have to meet this standard, we have to do this presentation, everybody has to like it. But now the internal story is, can we ever really get something that good? As good as we can imagine it? No. my imagined version of a class, rarely is as good as the class. My imagined version of an article or a book or a video is as good as the book or video, whatever, right? And so internally, the judge is got a standard and saying you're not meeting it. That could have been better. And saying this is really bad because now this pain is going to happen. Failing to meet that is a trigger for reminder of the pain. And the reminder of the pain is pushing us to try and meet the standard. So internally, there's this kind of narrative of we haven't met the standard, we're failing, this isn't good enough, I'm not good enough, and we've reactivated the victim pain. Even though the whole goal of the judge is to avoid the victim pain externally by being perfect for other people. So what's happening is the very thing it's trying to avoid externally now happens internally in the narrative story. We aren't meeting the standard the judge is given because, like, okay, people were supposed to walk out of my class enlightened in the first hour and a half. Right? So no, okay, that didn't happen. What does the judge say? They're going to find out you're a fraud. And I was feeling that narrative. I was feeling that part of me. Felt like I was a failure. Maybe I should just quit before they find out. And, oh man, I was feeling the pain of failing. All under the guise of saying, the judge saying, well, I'm trying to push you to do better so you don't feel that pain. But if you set up that here's perfection, here's reality. I'm not meeting reality, therefore rejection. So once you have that image of perfection, you are set up for rejection internally. No one outside is doing it anymore. And hence suffering. Okay. So while its intention is beautiful to free you from this victim, protect this victim from being rejected and punished or hurt, and the wounds being triggered again, its intention is to protect. Its methodology fails to do that and actually causes to repeat the pain. Does this make sense? Did I make that clear? So look at the judge as well-intentioned, but it's trying to fit a glass pane in a window with a hammer. You know? Something. It's just using the wrong tool to get to self-acceptance. Because the actual antidote to the judge the victim not feeling pain is, okay, let's take away the rejection, but let's not take away the rejection through this philosophy that being perfect will avoid rejection. So let's not try to be perfect. Let's take away the rejection by expressing acceptance. Okay, I love and accept myself just the way I am. I love and accept you all just the way you are. Wherever you are in your journey, you're right on track working through the obstacles in front of you. And I trust you. And the stumbling and the falling down and whatever, however that happens, that is all part of the journey of the stuff to work through. And that you're all getting it, each individually, exactly the right order at the right speed for what you have to work through, and how many times you have to try at something to get it, and for the shifts to make. And I don't expect one of you to be 1 inch further along than where you are, or 1 inch behind. I trust you're right on track with where it's right for you. Total love and respect and acceptance for you and your journey. And that's how I see your journey and where you are as perfect. Not that perfection is someplace else you should be, but perfection, see what is and say that's perfection. That's how I'll use perfection to free us from the judgment and rejection. Now, it sounds arrogant to say, oh, I'm perfect just the way I am, but it's, because we have that judge's idea of what perfection is, so that word's very corrupted. But it's more easy to say, okay, I love and accept myself just the way I am, where I am, doing what I'm doing. That kind of unconditional, full-blown acceptance is indirectly saying, it's all good right now. Even the hard stuff and working through stuff and falling down, it's all good. This is all the journey, the way it's written to be. And so that unconditional acceptance and love for ourselves and for others and where they are on their journey and what we're figuring out is indirectly seen it all as perfect. And in that way, you avoid the pain of rejection and you can heal the pain that's in it. So perfection is a way to avoid that pain, but it's a different version of perfection. It's not the perfectionist that the judge comes up with and the victim comes up, if only I could do that, then I should be there. No, that's not how we avoid. That version of perfection is the lie. The truthful perfection is love ourselves the way we are, accept ourselves the way we are. See this, me, human, perfect. When I showed up with Miguel and I asked those questions right out of my self-importance, that was so huge. And I was so blind to it. Divinely perfect question to show up and say, Miguel, here's all my self-importance. And for him to go, really? Do you think you're ready for the dance class? Perfect. Perfect opportunity for growth and seeing what an artist I was. Perfect. Didn't love it right then while I was squirming, but boy, that squirming was perfect, man. That was perfect growth. Different version of what perfection is, yeah? Can also heal us from our pain, but not the one the judge uses.